In early December, Soviet special forces consisting of KGB and GRU operatives arrived in Afghanistan. They were later joined by the 345th Airborne Regiment. These special forces were under the overall command of General Yuri Drozdov, the chief of the Directorate of Illegal Intelligence of the KGB. They were mostly deployed to the strategically important Bagram airfield and the Hindu Kush, where Amin's opposition was hiding, making Amin to believe that Soviets' forces have arrived to help his government. Soviets started with few preparatory measures a bit earlier than the main operation had to kick off. Inside Kabul, the already 3,500 Soviet military advisors started to decapitate most of the deployed Afghan military in the city. How? This is an interesting part. What they did was that they ordered Afghan Army to check and repair the tanks, dislodging ammo. Soldiers were ordered to check their storage for faulty ammo, and batteries were taken out of all the military vehicles for winter maintenance. This ensured that if reinforcement of Afghan Army is called before or during the operation, it won't be able to reach, or at least, won't be able to reach in time. 3 days before the attack, hundreds of Soviet paratroopers, members of the Soviet Army's Muslim Battalion and KGB Special Forces, had surrounded the palace. They even conducted the mock exercise to prepare for the real operation in the name routine drills on 25th, 26th, and December 27th in the morning time. Since President Amin has requested himself for it, he was in fact satisfied with all this, considering, as if his request has been honored by Soviets. As dusk covered the streets of Kabul, Soviet troops moved towards their targeted destinations. First one in all of them was the Defense Ministry, which nowadays is the Afghan National Museum. In order to decapitate army, the strategy was to kill the army chief, Yaqub Khan, first. To disguise, Soviets were wearing yellow uniform of Afghan Army, stormed the Defense Ministry building. As the roar of gunfire heard, the desk officer, Dawlat Waziri, raced to the Khan's office. The army chief was in a meeting with several Soviet military advisors. According to Waziri, he is 95% sure that the Russian translator opened fire on Yaqub Khan. Waziri immediately turned back towards corridor to avoid attack on him. But in the corridor, he also took 3 bullets of AK-47 from one of the Soviet soldier, got injured but somehow escaped and survived. Yaqub Khan was shot twice. Somehow he made his way to his office, drenched in blood, collapsed on the sofa before Fakir Muhammad Fakir, who was waiting for Yaqub Khan in Khan's office. Khan could not survive and died in few minutes. Soviets excessively shot AK-47 bullets and used grenades. According to Fakir, he took the pistol of Yaqub and pointed towards the door for protecting himself, if anyone enters, to shoot him. Fakir was later arrested from the same place by Soviet troops and was imprisoned. Even though the Afghan forces throughout the city were left virtually useless, the Taj Beg palace was still heavily defended. Soviets made heavy deployment on the roads leading to Taj Beg palace in order to ensure no interruption and reinforcement could reach palace during the operation. The Soviet assault force consisted of at least 648 men, most of them from the Soviet Special Operation Forces, the Spetsnaz, including 520 GRU Spetsnaz, known as the Muslim Battalion, 80 paratroopers from the 9th Company of the 345th Airborne Regiment, as well as 24 Spetsnaz from the KGB Special Unit Zenit and another 24 Spetsnaz from the elite KGB Special Unit. Soviet paratroopers were also placed along the roads to the palace. Now inside the palace, there were guards, along with a security cordon around the building and several outposts. An overwatch position was established on a nearby hill, aided by 3 Afghan Army tanks, together with an anti-aircraft division. To help maintain the surprise, the Soviet soldiers were also given Afghan military uniforms. Some 20 minutes before the assault, a group of 14 men attacked the hill where the Afghan tanks and anti-air defenses forces were. Although the Afghans resisted, they were quickly overpowered. At the anti-aircraft Shilka systems were also captured and were used to fire during the Operation Storm 333 had begun. The Shilkas were the first to open fire on the palace. 2 other guns fired at Afghan infantry battalions, thus aiding the paratrooper company, which was supposed to capture Afghan outposts. The KGB and GRU Spetsnaz started the direct assault on the palace complex in armored personnel carriers, the APCs. The first APC passed through the traffic barrier and advanced on the curved road which led to the palace. The road was heavily defended and in the line of fire, however, all other approaches to the palace were turned into minefields. The second APC was quickly disabled by incoming fire and the troops had to abandon it. Many were wounded, one of the Zenit sub-commander was killed. Throughout the vehicles had machine guns installed at the top, but their fire could only reach the second floor. The Afghan soldiers on the third and fourth floor are thus in a substantially comfortable position. Another APC ran into a brick wall only 20 meters from the palace and those men were also forced to fight on foot due to the intense firing coming from the palace. Several other vehicles were also disabled.